Today I'm building a sharpening station for my chisels and hand planes that doubles as a storage box to keep everything I need organized. Stick around to the end and I'll go over everything I use to keep my tools sharp and ready for the next cut. Alright, before I get started I need to put everything together that I want to store inside and figure out how big the box needs to be. Alright, so this is going to be the top plate of the box itself, and it's going to be the workstation. So I need a cleat across the front, and I have these up here. They have these nice rubber bases on them, but I want to have a cleat up here so that basically keep them from sliding. So I'm also going to need a cleat on the back, on the bottom edge here, to keep it up against the table, so when I'm pushing forward it's not sliding the whole thing across the table. That is going to be part of the box, so I need to figure out how deep the box is going to be, how I want to store everything inside it and divide it up, and get that started, and then I can figure out exactly how I want to build this so that the top will fit in the box, come off separately so that I can use it as a workstation and still keep everything organized inside. All right, so here's where I am right now. I've got two sides. These are 2 inches tall. I've got one piece that's 1.5 inches tall that's going to make the front edge. Got a 1/2 inch piece that's going to get glued to the bottom of this, which will form the top part of the box and the cleat on the front edge to hold it to the table. The back, I've left it a little bit tall. I'm actually going to cut a dado in the back, and I'm going to cut a rabbet on this so that when I put this in, it's actually going to sit locked into the back edge, and then the front can get latched down. That'll form a box. All right, if you didn't catch all that, it's going to make a lot more sense here soon. First, I need to cut some pieces down to length and then start assembling the box. Last thing before I can assemble it. Put some grooves for the bottom, cut out a base, and glue it all together. Get some glue on it, clamp it together, and then start working on the top. While I was waiting for the glue to dry, I went into CAD and made a jig for setting the angles using the honing guide. I cut that out of some 5mm plywood on the S1, and then using a square as a guide, I glued that to the top with some CA glue. And that's when things went sideways. The activator did its job just a little too well, and the glue took hold before I could actually get it into place, so I had to chisel it back off and then scrape all the plywood scraps that were left behind. Print it on. And the second time I managed to get it into place before the glue actually dried. We do it nice because we do it twice. But wait, there's more. Now, after all that, I've realized that plywood isn't thick enough. So I'm gonna cut a third one of these and glue it on top of this. Some days, you just can't win. So with the third one glued on, it finally works with all my chisels, and I can move on to laying out the inside of the box. Once I figured out where I wanted everything on the inside, I just used some 3/4 inch plywood and tacked it in with some CA glue. This way, if I ever need to change it up, I can just bust these little dividers out and glue in some new ones wherever I need them. Alright, everything's got a place. Sand this up a little bit, put some polyurethane on it since it is going to be wet. Once that dries, you can put the latches on and good to go. All right, let's take a look at how it turned out. Got our latches on. Everything fits inside. Just pop the latches, pull our top off, sit that here on the table. Our little cleat on the back holds it, keeps it from sliding forward. And we can just pick whichever stone we want to use. Sit that on here. The second cleat actually holds that from sliding forward, and we can get everything set up. Got storage for everything inside that I need. I have a large area over here in case I ever get more diamond stones or anything like that. I thought about putting this in. The strop actually fits in that pocket, but what I decided was I'm just gonna hang this on the wall somewhere because I actually do use this in between major sharpenings to keep things honed up nice and sharp. And if I had this in a box, I probably won't pull it out until I actually need to do a full sharpening. So keep things sharp and safe. I think we'll keep this out where we can get to it. But yeah, let's take a look at how this all works. I'm definitely not a sharpening guru by any means of the word, but I'll give you a quick rundown of how everything's going to work and take a look at the tools that I'm going to use to do it. All right, for the stones I'm going to use, showed these a little bit earlier, but these are the Sharp Pebble stones. I picked these up off of Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description for all the tools that I'm using. This one has 1,000 on one side and 6,000 on the other side. It does have these nice rubber bases to keep them nice and tight. This one is 3,000 and 8,000, so you have all sorts of options for, you know, rough work, bringing back an old really dull blade and honing it up really sharp. Once you're finished with that, got the strop that has two different sides. This is super smooth on this side for like straight razors. I'll probably never use that. The coarse side with the compound, it does come with the compound. Use that on here. Once you're done sharpening with the stones, you can come over here and knock the burr off. And in between sharpenings, like I said, you can hone it up a little bit just to bring back the life of the blade. And this is the honing guide. You'll see here I have roller back and roller front. The reason for that is the wheel on this is actually offset to one side. I really like this one. This is the old style that I used before. It has, you can see the single wheel in the middle. There's not really a solid flat base for any smaller blades. They just kind of fit into this wedge and hope they're square. And when you're rolling this thing, typically it'll do this on you. So this one has a really nice wide roller, keeps everything nice and flat, and you're going to be in this, you know, your blade's going to sit on this surface, so you know you got a good square surface to work off of. And yeah, this one's definitely, this is the kind you typically get this at just about any woodworking store. They're pretty cheap. Definitely think this is an upgrade, so I'm gonna go with this one. With that, I'll show you how to set this up, what all this means on here, and we'll shine up a blade. All right, like I said, this is gonna key right up against your workbench, so everything can kind of push in this direction, kind of hold it in place if you want to. Now, normally you'd want to get these stones nice and soaked. You read the instructions that come with your stones, but these ones actually recommend to soak them in water until they're fully soaked. I'm just doing a quick touch up on this just to show you how it works. So I'm going to put a little bit of water on here. It will soak that water up super fast. So if you're doing a real real sharpening, you want to make sure you get a lot of water on there. These chisels are actually set at 30 degrees. So got my roller to the front, roller front. Get that nice and square on there. Now we'll just slide this in. Hold that flat, bring the guide up nice and tight. So that's touching on our 30 degrees. Tighten that down. Like I said, you got a nice flat surface on here to key off of so you're not just kind of floating that thing out there. Just flip this around. Keep a nice even pressure on that. Now you're going to build up a burr on the backside, so you just want to take that burr off with a flat across the back. And the final thing, just want to give that a quick polish with the strop. And that is super sharp. That'll definitely cut. All right, when you're all done, you just put everything away, let your stone dry first, put everything in its place. Latch it all down and you're good to go. All right, hopefully that gives you some ideas on building a sharpening station of your own. And like I said, if you need any of these tools, I'll leave links in the description for everything, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.